Welcome to Headline Hub Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Let's dive in. This is the story of how a nation, poised to host the world's greatest sporting spectacle, watched it all slip away. Picture this: years of meticulous planning, billions spent on infrastructure, and a country buzzing with anticipation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. America, the land of big dreams and even bigger stadiums, is ready to welcome the world. The stage is set, the lights are bright, you're ready for the spotlight, and the world is watching. Then, out of nowhere, a bombshell drops. FIFA suddenly announces, "Actually no, we're moving the party next door." The news ripples through the nation. The United States, the self-proclaimed center of the universe, is stripped of the World Cup final and other key matches. The dream, so close to reality, is yanked away. The news hits like a two-footed tackle to the national ego. Fans are left speechless, their excitement replaced by disbelief and frustration. FIFA pulls World Cup final from USA, moves to Canada. It sounds like satire, a late-night comedy sketch, but it's painfully real. This isn't a minor change, it's a global embarrassment. The world is watching, and America is at the center of a fiasco. The world's biggest event taken away not by natural disaster or war, but by paperwork, politics, and America's inability to get out of its own way. Bureaucratic blunders and infighting sealed the deal. Shockwaves hit sponsors, sports bars, and city halls across the country. Businesses that banked on a tourism boom now face empty seats and canceled reservations. Organizers who spent years planning, negotiating, and dreaming are left with nothing but disappointment and boxes to pack. Mayors who promised a tourism boom now face angry citizens demanding answers. The economic windfall they touted has vanished overnight. How could this happen? America has mega stadiums, world-class infrastructure, and deep pockets, yet it's deemed unfit to host. The question echoes from boardrooms to living rooms. Instead of a triumphant homecoming for soccer, the story is one of incompetence, missed opportunities, and growing isolation on the world stage. FIFA, not exactly a paragon of virtue, decided anywhere else in North America was a safer bet. Even with its own controversies, FIFA saw less risk elsewhere. That's not just a red card. That's being told to leave the stadium and never come back. It's a public rejection, a message heard around the globe. The world wasn't coming to America, it was actively avoiding it. Flights were rerouted, plans were changed, and the spotlight shifted north. The dream was over before it began. For America, the World Cup became a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the biggest stage can be lost with one wrong move. The heartbreak was real, you could feel it in the air, a heavy silence settling over stadiums and living rooms alike. For so many, this was more than just a loss. It was a collective gut punch that left millions speechless. This wasn't just losing a game, it was being told you couldn't even host it. The dream of welcoming the world, of showing off American passion and hospitality, was suddenly out of reach. For millions of American soccer fans, 2026 was supposed to be the sport's coronation in the US. It was the year soccer would finally take its place alongside baseball and football, uniting generations in a shared celebration. Years of growth from grassroots to MLS were meant to culminate in a final on home soil. That validation vanished overnight. All the hard work, the dreams of young players, the investments in stadiums and communities, suddenly, it felt like none of it mattered. A generation of fans who watched the USWNT conquer the world and saw the men's team rise were left stunned. They had believed in the promise of progress, only to see it slip away in a moment. Hosting the final was more than a game, it was a statement. America had arrived. It was a chance to show the world that the US belonged on the global stage, not just as a participant, but as a leader. Instead, the world got the message: America is closed, complicated, and not worth the trouble. The headlines weren't about soccer, but about missed opportunities and closed doors. Cities like LA, Dallas, and New York, once vying for the final, were left in silence. The anticipation that had built for years evaporated, leaving only echoes of what could have been. Local committees and small businesses banking on a tourism windfall faced confusion and loss. Fans kept asking, why? Why did this happen? Why was the dream taken away at the last moment? America has the biggest stadiums, the most hotels, how did it lose? The infrastructure was there, the passion was real, but somehow, it wasn't enough. This was about national pride, not just soccer. It was about showing the world what America could do when it came together for something bigger than itself. Hosting the final says, We're a global leader. It's a symbol of unity, ambition, and the American spirit. Losing it says the opposite. It sends a message of retreat, of missed chances, and of dreams deferred. The heartbreak was for more than a match. It was for a lost identity. For many, it felt like a piece of the American dream had been taken away. The American dream of hosting the world was replaced by a self-inflicted failure. The hope that once filled the streets was replaced by regret and unanswered questions. The beautiful game was defeated by ugly politics. The dream was shattered, and the echoes of what might have been will linger for years to come. America's original World Cup vision was nothing short of spectacular. Futuristic stadiums gleaming under the night sky, cutting-edge technology at every turn, and a promise to set a new global standard for the tournament. Organizers boasted of innovations that would redefine how the world experienced football, from smart ticketing to immersive fan zones. Each host city was chosen for its unique story. New York's iconic skyline, Dallas's colossal stadium, and LA's unmistakable Hollywood flair, all meant to showcase the best of America. The event was marketed as a festival of unity, a celebration of diversity, and a testament to American exceptionalism on the world stage. Economic forecasts painted a rosy picture: billions in revenue, packed hotels, and a tourism boom that would ripple across the country. But soon, cracks began to appear beneath the surface. The grand vision collided with messy reality. Bureaucratic hurdles slowed progress, fierce disagreements erupted over tax exemptions, and labor rights became a flashpoint for protests. American organizers, confident in their world-class infrastructure, believed they could set their own terms, and didn't need to play by FIFA's established rules. Instead of fostering collaboration, negotiations devolved into a tense standoff, with both sides digging in their heels. The soaring ambition was slowly choked by a fundamental misunderstanding of what true global partnership required. As the months ticked down, confusion reigned. Visa processes became tangled and unpredictable, sponsors grew increasingly nervous about their investments, and the once clear vision of the bid began to dissolve into chaos and uncertainty. The dream of a seamless world-class tournament slowly unraveled, turning into a nightmare of missed deadlines and mounting doubts. America's grand ambition ultimately crashed headlong into its own stubbornness and inability to adapt. The world watched in disbelief as the project spiraled further out of control, headlines chronicling every misstep. What went wrong? In the end, it seemed like everything that possibly could. The real problem? Washington, D.C., political chaos. Aggressive travel bans and unpredictable policies sent a clear message: not everyone is welcome. For a global event, that's a disaster. FIFA needs guarantees that all teams, staff, media, and fans can enter without issue. The US government couldn't or wouldn't provide those assurances. Instead, FIFA faced political posturing and ever-changing rules. Extreme vetting and shifting policies made planning impossible. The spirit of international cooperation was replaced by isolationism. FIFA saw the US as a volatile, risky partner. Domestic political battles spilled onto the world stage, and the World Cup got caught in the crossfire. Hosting the World Cup is a privilege, not a right. Washington's games had real consequences, and the American public lost. Bureaucracy strangled the American bid. The visa process became a black hole: delays, denials, and panic for teams and media. Permits, transportation, and customs were a nightmare, with agencies working at cross purposes. The united bid was fiction. Crossing into the US was dreaded. Financial demands and endless fees made the US look greedy, not gracious. Sponsors and broadcasters grew nervous, fearing empty stadiums and missing staff. The American machine became a can't-do bureaucracy. FIFA saw chaos and had to act. While the US stumbled, Canada and Mexico delivered a masterclass. Their governments worked seamlessly with FIFA, providing guarantees on visas, security, and taxes. Canada streamlined visas for everyone, from players to volunteers. No grandstanding, just quiet competence and a clear goal host, a fantastic tournament. Mexico, with its rich soccer history, knew exactly what FIFA needed. Cities like Mexico City and Guadalajara promised a festival, not a hassle. Fans and teams were treated as honored guests, not security risks. Sponsors and media shifted operations to Toronto and Mexico City, escaping US chaos. Canada and Mexico didn't have bigger stadiums, but they had a better attitude. They respected the global nature of the event and did the essential work of cooperation. Their reward? The biggest prize in sports. They showed how it's done. The economic hit was immediate and brutal. Billions in expected revenue vanished overnight. Hotels, restaurants, and bars faced mass cancellations. Sponsors, having invested fortunes, scrambled to shift focus to Canada. Many downsized their US presence, pouring resources into more welcoming markets. Fans canceled travel plans, choosing Canada or Mexico over visa headaches and high costs. The result? Empty seats at US matches and a toxic American brand. The World Cup became a cautionary tale, damaging America's reputation as a reliable host. The ripple effect: lost confidence in US business and tourism for years to come. The empty stadiums symbolized a much larger economic void. Why did FIFA act so decisively? History. In 1986, Colombia lost the World Cup due to internal chaos. FIFA had to scramble for a new host. The lesson: never let a host's dysfunction jeopardize the tournament. The US in 2026 looked eerily familiar. Political instability, bureaucratic paralysis, and no basic guarantees. FIFA saw a risk to their brand and event. But this time they had a solution: Canada and Mexico, built into the united bid. These co-hosts were stable, reliable, and ready. By shifting the final, FIFA wasn't canceling the tournament, they were saving it. It was ruthless, but consistent with the lesson from Colombia. Faced with chaos, FIFA always chooses certainty. America lost the final, but FIFA saved the World Cup. This was more than a lost soccer game. It was a missed opportunity for unity and global leadership. The image of a packed American stadium celebrating the world's game will now come from Toronto. The US failed on politics, bureaucracy, and vision, choosing isolation over engagement. Canada and Mexico welcomed the world. The US built barriers. America was outplayed in global hospitality. The world took note. America is no longer the reliable partner it once was. The sting of this humiliation will fade, but the underlying problems remain. Will America learn from this defeat, or double down on the attitudes that caused it? The ball is in America's court. The world is watching to see if it can finally play as part of a team.